What's up, everybody? It's Danny Green here, back with more Inside the Green Room, NBC Sports, Philadelphia. We got a lot today. Part 2 of the Joel Embiid interview, WNBA star Angel McCoughtry, and the preview of Round 2 versus the Hawks. So let's get into it.
We're going to get you guys set for the Round 2 matchup between the Atlanta Hawks and the Philadelphia 76ers. I'm Harrison Sanford, and that's Danny Green, who's also been busy not just winning the first round, shooting at 46% from three, getting one block a game, over a block a game, a steal a game. He's also working on wedding planning. And at the same time, Danny, multi-talented, you're good at multitasking here. You're also a landlord, owner, part owner of the Green Curry House of Threes. What's your actual title there?
I guess I'm part owner, man. A small stake in it, but the dude who made the shirt was amazing. It was a dope shirt. They sent it out to me. Surprisingly, Seth wore it the day he wore it. I'm gonna say the very next day, but he wore it on travel day, and I brought the same shirt on my travel day. So it was like one of those things. I felt like I couldn't wear it the same day he wore it. It would have been real corny. So yeah, I kept it in my travel bag, but I had it with me. I thought it was a dope shirt, real cool, real chill. And shout out to the guy who designed it. So it was a hit. Everybody loved it. Everybody's wondering where they can buy it, where they can find it, and hopefully brings us some good luck.
I want to talk about Seth Curry, and part of that reason is because he had a playoff career high, 30 points in Game 5 against the Washington Wizards, and part of that reason was the injury to Joel Embiid, and we'll get to that in a bit. But what were your impressions of how you guys responded in Game 5 in order to get to this second round?
I loved how we responded, man. It showed a lot of character. Throughout the playoffs, you're gonna have different guys step up. Some guys gonna have great games. Some guys are gonna have some, bad games. And each game is a series within a series. The momentum changes, shifts different times. And now it's some guys' new life in a new series. Guys have new identity. They can re-identify themselves in a different series, different matchup they might thrive in. But like I said, each game is different. Some guy may be hot one game, one guy maybe not. But Tyrese Maxey stepped up big for us. Matisse stepped up big for us. Seth, of course. Tobias does what he does every game all year. He's been doing for us. And Ben, of course, stepping up to the free throw line, knocking down and making him pay for trying to foul him and try to see if they can get an extra possession with that. So yeah, I love how we responded. We came at home. We had our fans full capacity. It was amazing. The energy was unbelievable in the building. It was a lot of fun to play in. Even though I didn't shoot well, I played my best basketball, but it was high intensity. We had a lot of fun. Guys bounced back, and we played, up to the task. And hopefully we can continue that because we don't know how long Joel's going to be out.
Can you take us through that 24 to 48 hours when you were there on the court and you saw it happen, and what the team's response and mentality has been since then, and what's impressed you so far about it?
I don't know the specifics of it, but they're saying, it's based on Joe, how he feels, how he recovers, and his pain tolerance. So we're hoping that he's back sooner than later. And, if not, we got to prepare without him. And I believe in our team that we can still win games. We've done it through all season without him, but it's going to be tougher. But we have the build up, the character, we have the chemistry, the coaching staff. We have all the tools we need to get, games in the playoffs.
It might not be the most PC thing, but I do want to see him back, not just for his play on the court, but the thrust the process celebration.
Gotta love those. I thought about doing one of those. When I thought about a little thrust the process celebration when I flopped last game on Russ. Taking a charge. I don't get many N1s, so it's not easy for me to get a little thrust the process celebration. But we definitely need that more on the court. We need that confidence. We need that, and also he creates so much for us offensively. Easier shots for our guys, such as myself. To where our offense runs a lot smoother, and defensively another rim protector, rebounder, which changes the game. So outside of the thrust, the process, his little celebration, he does bring a lot more to the table that can help us.
Indeed, regardless of when Joel Embiid comes back, Dwight Howard is going to be important for you guys throughout the entirety of this playoffs. He showed how valuable he was there in Game 5 with his rim protection, his finishing around the rim, and a lot of confidence at the free throw line as well. When we interviewed Joel Embiid, he talked about the importance of Dwight Howard and how he tried to get him to come to the 76ers during the offseason.
Man, one night they hit me up and they told me that he might be available. So I just thought he would be a great addition. So I ended up getting his number and I texted him. And, I just let him know that, he'd be welcome. We would love to have him and that he would make us better. And from there, I saw the news that he was signing with us, and I liked it. Obviously he's a future Hall of Famer, and he's been around for a long time. And his energy, just being around him, like his energy, always positive, smiling all over the place. So he's a great teammate.
Yeah, he's definitely helped me a ton too, and just him coming along with me, coming from LA, having another guy that I'm familiar with, and going through that journey with me in the bubble, and obviously his veteran leadership, being around the league so much, has been huge, not just for me but for our young guys. We're recording this on June 3rd before the NBA awards come out. We're assuming that Nikola Jokic is going to get MVP. I wouldn't agree, but here was our discussion on the NBA awards.
Obviously, if I would have played a couple more games, it could have happened. That's a conversation that should be in every single year. And by the end of my career, I should have a few of those. But that's not what motivates me. Being around the league and being in the league for a while now, you get your respect when you win. I'm after that championship because at the end of the day, if I win, that first one, and then I can start thinking about the other ones. But if I win that first one, I know I'm going to get the respect I deserve. Every single day is all about, working so hard to make it happen.
I said if he didn't miss the games, he would be MVP. He's our MVP, of course. But I said if we get to that finals, he has a chance to win the MVP there.
Finals MVP will be much better than the regular season MVP.
Exactly.
There you go. There's some discourse between people who do all NBA voting. This year, the NBA is allowing media members to vote for anybody. Like they could list, for example, Luka Doncic as a forward. They could list you as a power forward if they feel so inclined to put you and Nikola Jokic on the first team. I know Danny at one point was upset about the way they juxtaposed the positions when it came to all defensive team voting. Danny, I think that was what 2018, 2019 season.
Yeah.
Joel, when you heard the news that they could juxtapose your position in order to potentially put you on the first team, and some people are still not doing it, what were your emotions or reaction when you heard that?
I thought it was great. All the best players in the league, should be rewarded. Whether if the 5 best players in the league were all centers, I feel like it should be like that anyways. But it's a situation where, you can make a case for me. But then again, Jokic has had a great season. And on the ballot, there's only one center that's allowed. And you talking about someone potentially being the MVP of the league. So it's kind of hard for anybody to put him on the second team. But he did deserve it too. Just like, I deserve to be either MVP or be on the All-NBA first team. So that's some things, I can't control. But I really believe that, no matter what, if whoever was the top 5 best players in the league that year, they should end up on the All-NBA first team.
That's how it should be. And yes, that was the season. I had more votes than 2 guys that made all-defensive team, but because of our position, I couldn't make an all-defensive team. But there is a possibility you can do it, because I did see somebody win Defensive Player of the Year and be on the second team all-defensive team.
It is possible.
Which is strange.
Back with more Inside the Green Room, Harrison Sanford, that's Danny Green. In our next segment, we will talk about the Atlanta Hawks, but we have to talk about this trend that we're seeing in the NBA now. And I know fans are just now getting into the arena. So people are excited, but it's getting a little bit out of pocket. Danny, you were in the arena for the popcorn incident with Russell Westbrook. You were also at Capital One Arena when the fan ran onto the court, and you were right there. You're one of the closest people to the incident. Take us through your mindset as it was going down.
Oh, at their place, it was interesting because I don't think any of us really knew what was going on. it was a guy on the floor. We thought it was a ball boy at first. We were like, who the hell? And why are they tackling the ball boy? And then later on, we started to realize he doesn't work for the team. But yeah, you know, when I looked at it, it seemed like, first of all, I think it hurt their fast break at that time. So they were probably upset about it. The fans were not cheering him on, but he got up as if, you know, he did something great, something amazing. It was that people were trying to just get their little 15 seconds of fame. Same thing with Russell Westbrook, man. He was hurt coming off the floor. And I love our fans. I love our energy. I love how they approach the game. I don't like the booing of guys who are walking off the court that are hurt. Like, you shouldn't cheer that on or boo them. Respect those players, respect what they do. Obviously, you don't like them because they're not the team, but you should respect their space as well. Should be throwing things at them, shouldn't be pouring things on them, and don't be booing or cheering when they're hurt, because they are professionals. They are great at what they do, and it's not a sportsman-like thing to do. So, you know, hopefully, you know, things will turn around for the better, because, you know, we're excited too. We love to have our fans back. I think people are enjoying it. The real fans are enjoying the game, but there's always one or two people that really ruin it for the rest of us, and, you know, can make the game uglier than it should be.
Yeah, I really hope we see the end of this, just because there's so much fun to be had in these arenas. And sometimes at the end of these games, it becomes the main topic of conversation, what a fan did in the game, outside of celebrating the performances that we're seeing on the court. And we're all going there for the performances that we see on the court, not for what the fans are doing with guys who are competing. So let's cut it out. Let's have some real fun looking at the game of basketball that you guys have been playing at a great level all season long. And with that being said, there's some other people that we want to see at Wells Fargo Center playing on that home court. Angel McCoughtry, WNBA star, joined me and Danny not too long ago to talk about her desire to see the league expand, and Danny wants to see a team in Philadelphia. Tell our fan base, what are things that they should be watching for this season?
Oh my gosh. One thing they should be watching for is so many great stars who have entered the league. You know, Sabrina Eskew is a big name. My teammate, Asia Wilson, Liz Cambage. I mean, it's so many stars in the league. You still got the veterans, Diana Taurasi, Sue Bird. I mean, flashy highlights. Games are exciting. One thing I always say, come to a game or watch it, experience it. And I always promise people, I'll buy your ticket back if you don't like it. And I've never had to do it. People enjoy watching our game.
Because you guys are fundamental. You guys are a lot better than we are. It's always fun to watch you guys. But also, you guys never age. They said, you know, the vets, I feel like they never slow down or lose a step.
As the WNBA gets started, Danny's learning that Philadelphia is the fourth biggest TV market in America.
No way.
And yet it doesn't have a WNBA team. And there's so much to be learned from the women professional basketball players, and so much that you guys can do, not just inspiring other athletes, but who knows what a Division I scholarship could lead to in terms of people that you could meet, industries that you can get into just by aspiring to be somebody in your position. If you can, let's just say a council member, a council city member, somebody who's making decisions is watching the show as they're getting ready for the first round of the playoffs. Can you tell them why there needs to be a WNBA team in Philadelphia?
Because, you know, women exist too, and they need to be inspired in sports. More girls are playing, not just basketball, but more sports in general, not just in the States, but in all over the world. Definitely Philly could use a team. I would love a team where I'm from in Baltimore, but DC has a team. But, you know, it's good to test the market. Why not? You know what I mean? And see how it does. I think a lot of the teams, a lot of states that have men teams, they enjoy having the women there, kind of laughing and joking, coming in, practicing after them. I know Danny experienced it when he was in LA and in San Antonio. And we create those relationships with the guys, you know what I mean? And it's really beautiful. They're like our big brothers. So it's good to have that camaraderie, you know what I mean? And just with the fans, they love seeing it. It's not conflicting with the NBA because we're in the summertime. So they give some people some summertime hoops, something to do when it's hot out. I think it could be a good thing.
Definitely, I agree. And I said it's kind of a bummer for me because usually, you know, you see other guys repping the girls team from their city. Yeah. We're not able to do that. Obviously, happy 25th anniversary, but we're not able to wear, the women's side jersey to our arena or games like the other guys could. But that bond, that camaraderie is something special, and it's a lot of fun. I didn't know how big the media base was in Philly till I got here. Most people don't know that.
It's huge.
When you got that big of a media base, you need all sports there. You need not just men's sports, but you need women's sports too.
All right, Philly, let's do it, Philly.
How big it is. It's a big market. We need it. We need a women's team.
Yeah, we would love to get a women's team in Philadelphia, and in general, just happy to have teams in Philadelphia because last year the men played in the bubble. I think the women's bubble in Florida was also named the Wubble. I know there was a documentary that recently came out about it. Angel, if you could talk about, and Danny, if you could follow up on this, the challenges that came in that format and how that could have impacted certain players or teams or just psyches of teams in general. And what do you expect to see now with the WNBA out of that environment and with the NBA playoffs not in that environment as well?
Woo, Danny, I know you can tell that bubble, boy, that bubble life was tough. I mean, it was tough because just 2020 was just a tough year. And then being in a bubble, you're in this confinement and you have COVID that's going crazy. You have social injustice and we want to be out there in the streets with our people, but we're stuck in the bubble. But we did a great job of using our platforms for social injustice. The guys, they put the phrases on the back of their jerseys. We put Breonna Taylor. So I feel like we did a lot of stuff in the bubble to compensate for that. But it was tough mentally, just being in the bubble. We were in there 3.5 months because we were the last 2 teams with Seattle in the finals. And it was just like, oh my God, I've been in this place for so long. And, we had to fight for a little more. We had to, hey, can we get a hairdresser in here? Can we get a couple more things?
Tough. Like, that's tough. Yeah, we heard a lot of the said CP and a lot of the guys were trying to help push in some of the complaints you guys had. And obviously some of you guys they forget, like, you guys need a daycare center, some of you guys have children. So it's not easy. But yeah, we were down that stretch 3.5 months. The bubble was tough. We did use our platforms wisely. So we got some good out of it. But it was mentally, emotionally draining and hard to deal with. But we got through it. We made it out. Hopefully we don't have to do it again. But
you got a ring out of it, right?
Yeah. I've been lucky.
Right, so hey,
it was worth it. It was worth it. It was worth it. Yep. We made it out. But
like a plan to me. I love that.
Yeah.
As we talked about opportunities that come from playing basketball, and now that you're out the bubble, you're able to actually be in the community and do things that are going to help you not just as a basketball player, but as a role model in general. And now I know you're dealing with you're putting your time in other investments, whether it's investing in tech or media opportunities. Can you take us through what a day by day is like now for you, including the rehab?
Oh man, my day's gotten busy. My first ACL, I just had a lot of time because I was like, what direction do I go? But that first ACL set me up for now. So now I'm a part of Players TV. I'm in the athlete tech group. I'm about to get into the Derby, owning my own horses in the Kentucky Derby. So Danny, let me know if you're interested in that.
I'm interested in all those things.
Yeah.
I also want to hear. We're going to ask you about a lot of those things. We're going to ask you what are the lessons that you learned from doing a lot of those outside endeavors outside of basketball. Like, what has it taught you? From the outsider's perspective, and what has it taught you as a basketball player and maybe possibly coach on the sideline now this year?
Yeah, absolutely. Because all those endeavors. We just grew up playing basketball. So we don't know so much of the business side until we actually get into it. And when you get into it, you learn like, wow, this is harder than what it looks. Business is hard, I owned the ice cream shop before COVID. I closed it down. It was like, okay, you got to take care of employees, staff, this, that, the other. And then it's kind of relatable to basketball. You want people to come back, fans to come back and watch you play. So I have to teach my employees to be nice, have a smile on your face, work hard. So we want them to come back. So it kind of ties them together. But you learn so much more just on the back end with just the business side of it. So it's great experiences to learn.
And I want to commend you guys because especially you, but you guys are the leaders and set the tone. Everything that we've done, we've learned. We watch you guys and kind of follow suit. When we do the social injustice platform stuff, the business side, the tech side, everything. It seems like a lot of ideas have come from you guys' side, and you guys have kind of set the tone and done it first. Even though we may get all the credit, a lot of it comes from you guys. So thank you guys. Thank the whole league, your teammates, for being, such a big, I guess, voice in our communities and everything else, and not just on the court, off the court, business side, tech side, of just bringing so many ideas to the forefront for our leagues and our people.
Absolutely. That's what we're here for, to help you guys and do this thing,
Angel, before we have you go, and thank you for alluding to why there should be a WNBA team in Philadelphia, because what young lady in Philadelphia right now is now thinking, hey, I could potentially one day own a horse in the Kentucky Derby? Because I did not expect that.
Oh, yes. This is a time now we want to inspire. And I always say, like, women's basketball is like evolution. Like you see more girls dunking than ever before. And in 10 more years, you're going to see more girls dunking and more athletic than ever before. So it's like an evolution in our game. So, hey, bring a team to Philly. Who came from Philly? Don Staley, one of the biggest names. So you have more Don Staleys in Philly that are just ready to explode. So I think it's definitely a good market to test it out.
I got to know now, though, before you go, what have you tested out some names for said Kentucky Derby racehorse?
That's actually, I have not yet, but that's actually, I'm going to work on that one.
Okay. I just need to know who to put my money. I just need to know who to put my money on. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
He's a gambler. He gambles sometimes.
You know what's funny, Harrison? A couple years ago, when Rick Pitino was at Louisville, he bought a horse and he put it in my name. And then the next thing I know, I see this article and it says McCoutry's a winner on and off the court. I'm like, what is this? What are they talking about? Somebody's like, you know, Pitino bought a horse in your name and you won. You're a winner. You're always a winner. I'm like, oh snap.
Oh, okay.
So we got to do Danny. We're gonna talk about that.
That's fire. Yeah. That's fire for sure.
I'm going to have to invest one. I'm going to put one in your name, Harry.
There we go. There we go. There you go. Inside the winner's circle. That's what it's got to be called.
And we need more African Americans into that. So that's good that we're getting into that now.
There we go. Angel, we appreciate your time. And this is exactly why we need a WNBA team in every major market. You don't know what it can inspire from our youth on both sexes too. Yeah. So no, we appreciate your time. Anything else that you would like to mention before we get out of here?
No, just I can't wait to see you in the playoffs, Danny. Go get them.
Yes, thank you. I'm looking forward to watching you guys too. Read, rate, subscribe, review. Looking forward to the ice cream shop opening back up and do another ice cream show. So appreciate you joining us once again. So much love. Good luck. Get healthy soon. Yes. And good luck with the Kentucky Derby, the business endeavors, all those things. So
thanks, guys.
Actually, one more thing. And Angel, I have to deal with this problem all the time. Watch what happens here. Watch what happens here. You ready? Watch, because I'm not going to get an answer. Danny, what's your favorite ice cream flavor?
He knows this, so you know the answer to this. I don't have a favorite anything.
You see? There it goes. Again. He never has a favorite.
When it comes to ice cream, I do have a preference. There is a top one that is going to be chocolate chip cookie dough. Vanilla ice cream, chocolate chip cookie dough. That's probably the most preferred ice cream that I eat. But I don't have a favorite anything. But if that's
and you don't have a favorite TV show or a favorite anything?
There's too many things that are very great out there that I can't choose one over all of them. Does that make sense?
Not even inside the green room?
Because podcasts. I have a favorite podcast, Inside the Green Room, of course. Okay. Cool. But there's other ones out there that I like and support as well. Okay. But there's a lot of TV shows that I can't say, I like this one so much more, because then it's not a favorite if you like 5 different ones. Okay. People say favorite, and they don't really. That doesn't mean I like Fresh Prince Martin. That's more than one. It's not you can't have a.
You don't favor one ring over the other? One championship ring?
Nah.
All right.
I love them all. It's like choosing saying you have a favorite kid. You love all your kids differently, but you love them all the same.
I'm trying to get him ready. I'm trying to get him ready for first take, and we need hot takes. And he just won't give any hot takes at all. So never a hot take at all. Yeah. We're working on it though.
Once again, thank you for your time. Really appreciate you. Best of luck, and can't wait to see you back healthy and back on the court.
All right, I'll see you guys soon.
Yep, thanks. Definitely.
All right.
We're back with more Inside the Green Room. Harrison Sanford, Danny Green, who's in chase of his 4th NBA title ring. And speaking of rings, Danny recently put a photorealistic version of his 2020 ring with the Los Angeles Lakers on the market. Danny, what? Explain, please.
Not the exact ring, man. Like I said, it's a photorealistic version of it. I don't know anything about NFTs, they're non-fungible tokens. These are things that people are selling on the internet via the web. People are selling tweets, people are selling art, people are selling different things. And obviously I can't take credit for this. One of the homies, actually our producer of the show, Hamjad Osman, came to me with this idea. And I thought it was pretty cool, man, to get a NFT or a photorealistic version of my ring. And it's never really about the money with me. It's always about expanding or learning or pushing the culture forward. Also about giving back to community. So we're able to give some money back to, Blacks in technology. There's another opportunity for me to do that. But it also said, learn about the space. Obviously, people are big on Bitcoin. People are big on so many other things that's going on with stocks, bonds, with fungible tokens, now non-fungible tokens. So it's just something for me to learn about, something to share space, or, I guess, inform not just on myself, but other people in our community about.
No, that's great. And I think as more and more people get interested or start learning more about the technological advances that we're making in financial industry and cryptocurrency and things of that nature, it's really going to help the culture move forward, or anybody else move forward financially. And financial stability is everything. So you can go to Wells Fargo Center and cheer on the Sixers, maybe get you a sweet drink or two. Danny, as you're looking at this series against the Atlanta Hawks, they had a great amount of success against the New York Knicks at State Farm Arena, at Madison Square Garden. Clint Capella talked a big game, backed it up. Trae Young, vicious, all-star caliber type of player. What sticks out to you in the scouting report when you look at this second round matchup?
So they have a lot of firepower, man. They brought in a lot of pieces this summer and even during the trade deadline. They have a lot of weapons with, Lou Will coming in, Gallo off the bench. Herter's playing well. Hunter back from injury. Bogey's playing very well. Trae and John Collins, those guys are very good. So they have a lot of pieces. Clint Capella being the X factor, protecting the rim, rebounding, and catching lobs for them. So they're finally putting it together and figuring it out. But what impressed me is how well they kept their composure in the Garden. Also, I liked how the Knicks handled the situation too. They didn't go back and forth with the trash talk and things like that. But it is fun. It's part of the game. It's basketball. They came in super confident. Hopefully that'll change in this series. We'll try to change that ourselves. But if not, it'll be good basketball. Hopefully it stays competitive. And I know guys will have a chippy edge. Hopefully it doesn't get dirty or anything like that. But it'll be a lot of fun. We got a lot on our plate right now trying to stop those guys. But vice versa. We get Joel back. There's going to be a lot for them to stop him and us as well. But we have to figure it out because they have a lot of weapons and a lot of firepower right now.
Trae Young is Trae Young. He's not Steph Curry. I don't know if they have a replica, quote unquote, of Draymond Green on that roster, but there are some similarities between Trae Young and Steph Curry. How much can you learn of not just against how you played against Trae Young in your matchups, but also what you might have done against Steph when he had that brilliant performance against you guys in Wells Fargo Center? How much can you take from that matchup, try to implement it in this matchup against the Hawks?
A lot, actually. Even though they have some similarities, they are different types of players, but the way that they have the range that they have, you have to pick them up at a certain part of the court. So picking them up at a certain place on the court and make sure they don't get rhythm at that far out. Obviously, Trae is that they're different, but figuring out how to make them play toward their weaknesses. Hopefully, obviously, they miss shots, but putting defenders on them, throwing multiple bodies at them, multiple looks at them. So it's not consistent, so they don't know what's coming, what's happening. And so superstars, regardless of what you do to them, you can't continue to keep the same look because they're going to figure it out and beat it, regardless if you're trapping them, regardless if you're playing this way. You have to throw different things at them so that they're not just consistently knowing what's being thrown at them. So that's going to be a challenge. And also said keeping those other guys on the reps too. It's not just a game of Trae Young. Obviously Clint Capella's been huge for them. John Collins has been huge for them. You said Bogdan's been huge for them. Lou Will has been playing some games. Gallo's been huge for them. So yeah, Herter, Hunter, they have a list of guys that have been putting up double figures pretty easily. So we have a lot on our plate, man. And then hopefully we can slow him down and then slow the rest of them down as well.
One thing that's going to be interesting about them as well, Danny, they are a different team since Lord Pierce is no longer the head coach. And now that Nate McMillan is there, and you're familiar with Nate McMillan, a very good, disciplined defensive coach, they're going to put some things in front of you guys that are going to be interesting to see how you guys adjust. And I speak of adjust too, because you guys had to go through a somewhat of a transformation without Joel and implementing new sets and new type of play structures without Joel Embiid there. How do you feel in terms of how you guys are as an offensive unit being prepared to play without Joel Embiid, considering the new defensive challenge that you see? Because no disrespect to the Wizards, they're not the Atlanta Hawks on the defensive side of the ball.
For sure. I'm very confident in our group, regardless of who's on the floor. Offensively, I think we're going to figure it out. Doc has some good stuff implemented. Jaeger is great with the out of timeout plays. So we'll figure it out. We'll move the ball. We'll find each other and hopefully knock down some shots or get more of a rhythm and guys keep their confidence and continue to shoot the ball with confidence and knock down those shots. Now, defensively is where I think it gets a little tricky. We have to play smaller rebounding. We're undersized without Joel as much, and also the rim protection. So we have to do a better job if he's not playing of rebounding and protecting the rim and boxing guys out. Take that upon myself as well, trying to keep guys with the glass. Obviously, there's not as many Westbrooks out there that are getting offensive rebound or Gaffords that are out there, but Clint Capella is very big on the boards from offensively and defensively. So if Joel's not to be able to play the first game or two, we're gonna have to figure out how to use our small ball to our advantage, but also rebound and protect the rim better.
I have to admit, I'm a little bit disappointed that the series won't take place in Madison Square Garden, your second round series with the Hawks winning.
I think I was looking forward to that too. It would have been nice to be able to play the Garden.
Before we get out of here, Danny, quick prediction. Milwaukee Bucks, Brooklyn Nets. Who wins and why?
I think this series is going to go 7, man. And I actually have Milwaukee on the edge. So I think that they're just better, I wouldn't say better organized. They're just a team. They've been together for longer. They have a good system. I think Brooklyn is I wouldn't say more one-on-one, but it is more one-on-one type of play. It's, James will do his thing. KD will do his thing. Hopefully both teams stay healthy. But I just think, Milwaukee has a better all-around team with perimeter shooting from 1 through 5. And they're really tough matchup for anybody because of how well Brook Lopez shoots the ball, Bobby Portis shoots the ball, and obviously Bryn Forbes, if he continues to shoot the ball that well off the bench for them, it makes it tough. So I just like the way that they've been playing, their rhythm they have been getting into.
I actually tend to agree. The Bucks look very good in that Miami Heat series. I expected them to win, did not expect them to sweep. I'm not going to do the prediction of your series against Atlanta Hawks, but I will say this. I am prepared to do another episode of the show at the end of round 2. Is that cool?
Sounds good to me, man.